Okay, so this is going to be a spoiler talk for Avengers Infinity War. If you've not seen Avengers Infinity War, click on the link in the description below. It's a non-spoiler review of this movie. However, if you have seen it and you need to talk about it, what is up? I am your therapist. Fuck, this was insane. I walked into this movie thinking I knew what was going to happen, and I knew nothing. I knew nothing. Like, I knew Loki would die, which he did. That sucked, whatever. I did not think Thanos would fill the entire Infinity Gauntlet. I thought he would miss like one or two stones. Like, I thought the one stone I thought he wouldn't get was either the Time Stone or the Soul Stone, wherever it goes. I don't know why I'm touching my wrist. I think it's like Time Stone, no, Soul Stone, Time Stone, and Mind Stone or whatever. But yeah, I did not think he would fill the gauntlet. I thought he'd miss one or two. But as soon as he got that Time Stone, I knew. I'm like, he's going to get that Mind Stone because something's going to happen. They're going to probably destroy it, but then he's going to turn back time, which, okay, that's a bit of a gripe I have. How does Thanos know that you gotta do like the psh and then the psh to make time reverse? Like, I guess he just assumes, well, the clock goes this way, so let's go that way. But whatever, it's a little nitpicky. The three dividing sections, I think it's the four, is it 3 or 4? I think it's 4 team-ups. So you have Tony Stark and the Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. You have Hulk, Captain America, all of them. You have Rocket Raccoon and Groot and Thor. It's 4 to begin with. Like, it's Hulk, Spider-Man, whatever, Guardians and Thor, Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And then, they just split it up differently, obviously. But by the end, when all this shit's going down, so they got the one up in space and they got the one down on Earth. I predicted that Captain America, Loki, Drax, and then like Falcon or Rhodey would die. Because and Vision. I felt like those were like obviously other than Cap, a lot of those characters are just like not expendable, but like they're not as important where it would be like a major blow if they die, but then like Cap would die and then that would be like the big blow. But they fucking went all out because they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna loosely follow the comics, but they don't loosely follow it. The whole thing was like, if Thanos gets all Infinity Stones, he can snap his fingers and destroy half the universe, and then he does that. Because as soon as Thor hit him with the hammer, right, like the last 10 minutes or whatever, and he hits him, he's like, I told you you'd die for that. And I'm like, yeah, Thanos still has a hand free, doesn't he? And he goes, you should have gone for the head. And then Thor's like, what? And then he has the hand, and he just does it. And the screen went white, and I was like, yo, that they just ended. I think that they should have ended the movie like right there. Like, that would have been so much better. Not so much better than what we got, because what we got was fantastic, was crazy. Because like, it doesn't seem like anything major has happened, but then Bucky's like, he's like, Steve, and then like, he collapses and turns into dust. And I'm like, oh. And then, Black Panther dying or disintegrating. That fucked me up. I did not see that one coming. And then all the Guardians except Rocket disappear. Who else? Falcon. He disappears. Rhodey, I think, disappeared. I can't really remember. Hulk stayed. Basically, the core Avengers plus like Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, like they're all still around. Hawkeye, we don't know because he wasn't in the movie at all, which surprised me. Ant-Man, we don't know because he wasn't in the movie at all. And then also Rocket Raccoon and Nebula. Wong, we don't know. Pepper, we don't know. Black Panther's sister, we don't know. And the bald-headed girl, whose name I can't remember, she's still alive. The one that got to me, though, was Spider-Man, because they've done such a good job making Spider-Man just seem like a kid. Like, and he is. Like, he's just... Spider-Man was always, like, a kid. Like, he obviously he grows up in the comics, but like it never felt like he was really a high school student when it was Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. But now that we have a really young kid in Tom Holland, like you really feel like that this is just some kid that's way in over his head. Like the references like Alien and Footloose and all that, like those were great. But then like when Doctor Strange disappears and then you just hear Peter, Mr. Stark, and everyone in my theater went, no, right? And he goes, I don't feel so good. And like that is such an emotional part because then he puts him down and he goes like, I don't want to go. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like single tear. I was just like, fuck. Like, I didn't think they'd have the balls. I thought they would have the balls like kill like 3 or 4 big characters, but not like half the fucking cast. Like, it was crazy. And then the fact that Thanos ends up actually killing Gamora for the Soul Stone. I knew he'd kill one of his daughters. I just thought it'd be Nebula just because like she's a bit more reckless than Gamora. But it was good to see in that scene that like Thanos is almost humanized. Like I know he's like an alien overlord or whatever, but like it was just good to see him like have actual emotion. Like he's like, you know, power and restoring the balance to the universe is important, but like it almost seems like he feels like family might be more important, but then he's just like, nah, fuck that power, and he throws her off the cliff. All the team ups are fantastic. Thor and Rocket Raccoon were by far my favorite. Although I do like the interactions with Star-Lord and Iron Man because like it's kind of like the same guy. Same with like Doctor Strange and Iron Man, like they're kind of the same guy, you know, super rich, egotistical asshole who has an accident and then, you know, finds a bigger purpose in his life. The post-credits scene, though, is fantastic because it's Nick Fury and Robin from How I Met Your Mother. I can't remember her name in the movie. And he's like, oh, has anyone heard from Clint? And everyone's like, oh, shit, Hawkeye. And then that car pulls in front of them. And then she disintegrates. And then he's like, oh, God, code red. So he hits something on his pager, which, by the way, that's a nice little nod because Captain Marvel was set back in the 90s. So the fact that he has like a little pager to contact her is great. But then Nick Fury disappears. And my theater was more upset about Nick Fury disappearing than anybody else other than Spider-Man. It was crazy. So obviously Captain Marvel is going to be in Avengers 4. We can assume Hawkeye is going to be in it. Adam Warlock will probably be in it in some way because of that whole Guardians 2 post-credit scene with the whole, you know, tower thing. The lady's like, I think I'll call him Adam. And it's like gold and shiny. So everyone's like, oh shit, Adam Warlock, right? But yeah, I don't know where they go with this because like Thanos wasn't on Earth at the end of this. He was just like in space and he was like seeing the sunset and he was just like, and then I was just like, and then goes black and I was like, okay, well, yeah, there's just so much to talk about in this movie that like I won't be able to talk about all of it. I'll obviously miss some parts of it. The humor is really good in the movie. There was never a point where like it felt out of place. Like maybe like once or twice, like there was like little things like the fact that like Wakanda knows what Starbucks is and stuff like that was just whatever. But yeah, this was like a damn near perfect movie. Just like little tiny nitpicky things like how does Captain America know that Scarlet Witch and Vision are in Scotland? Although when he does catch that scepter and then walks out from the shadows, I was like, that's pretty badass. Like that was badass. But yeah, I think like Avengers 4, like the best theory that I've seen about this so far is that at that one point Doctor Strange sees like 14 million different outcomes and he's like, well, how many did we win? He's like, 1. So obviously Doctor Strange knew something that no one else knew. Like he wouldn't just like he gave Thanos the time stone. Like he's just like, oh, spare his life and I'll give you the time stone. Yeah, okay, here, right? So obviously he knows that Thanos needs to complete the gauntlet in order for that one outcome to happen. What that one outcome is, I don't know. It probably has something to do with Adam Warlock because like in the comics he's the one who stops Thanos. I've also seen like one where it's like an alternate dimension that everyone that disappeared is actually the ones who survived and everyone that survived disappeared, like an alternate universe or something. But I don't think that Marvel would go the alternate universe route. Like it just seems a little weird. But it would make sense that that's the way it is, because like they're talking about like Phase 4 and like there's gonna be a new Marvel thing. So what better way to start the new universe than getting rid of all the old, like out with the old and with the new kind of thing. So like if you got rid of Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, all them, you know, and they're gone, like, you know, well, who's the world gonna have now? Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Bucky, Falcon, all those guys, right? So like, I feel like that would be okay, but I just don't see Marvel taking the alternate universe route. But I don't know, they could, which I'd be okay with. My one theory that I came up with was that everything that we saw from like the point of like Doctor Strange like doing like his whole like the whole, you know, when he's seeing all the different outcomes, and I hope it's not this, but everything from that point on that we see is like a vision that Doctor Strange has. Like he's like, okay, this is where we go from here. This is what we got to do differently. But I just don't see them doing that. I'm really excited to see where they go with this. We have 2 movies in between this and Avengers 4. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which comes out in July. And then Captain Marvel, which either comes out at the end of this year, like really late at the end of this year, or early 2019. I think it's early 2019. But yeah, there's a lot that happened in this movie that needs to be talked about. I'm not a comic book nerd, so like I don't know everything about the comics. I just know like the bases. All I know is that I did not walk out of that theater feeling good. I felt good because I was like, that was a great movie, but like I honestly felt a little sick to my stomach because of what I saw. Just because it was so hard seeing all those characters die and like, well, die, but whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I didn't touch on everything in the movie. It's a fucking almost 3-hour movie. I'm not gonna be able to touch on everything. But if you did like it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever, share. You can follow me on Twitter at WokenSlack. It'll be in the description below. Follow my Instagram, also will be in the description below. And yeah, I will see you guys all next time.